everyone, I'm Amy and welcome back to my yoga channel here on YouTube. If you're new here, then welcome, and if you've seen some videos before and you've come back, then I'm super happy, thankful, and it's great to have you here. Today we're going to be doing a strong vinyasa flow. It's only about 15-20 minutes, something to kind of give you some energy, bring some heat into the body and set you up for the day ahead or whatever time of the day that you're doing this practice. So we're going to start by standing at the top of the mat. And if it feels good, we're going to close down the eyes. We're going to begin with some sun salutations. We're going to bring the palms either side of the body. You're going to kind of have your feet hips width distance apart, equal weight into the heels. We're just going to kind of focus on our inhales and exhales. Taking an inhale for 4 and taking an exhale for 4. Just slowing everything down before we begin. Taking another inhale and exhaling. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the shoulders up towards the ears and roll them gently back. Again on the next inhale. And then as you exhale, release the shoulders down. Move in the opposite direction, so inhale, shoulders up and over, and exhale to bring them back to neutral. One more inhale, and lower them down on the exhale. So from here, you're going to blink open the eyes. Going to move through sun salutation A. So as we inhale, we're going to raise the arms up above the head. Gaze comes up towards the thumbs. And as we exhale, taking a forward fold. Again, don't forget the option to use blocks here or hands to the shins. You can take an inhale, half lift and your gaze comes up and forwards. And as we exhale, stepping ourselves back, lowering down through chaturanga, elbows in towards the ribs. Taking an inhale, gaze comes up. And exhale to downward facing dog. And here we're just going to pedal out the legs. You can have your feet hips width distance apart, wrists in line with the shoulders, pointer fingers pointing towards the top edge of the mat. Make sure there's no tension in the neck, in the gaze towards the thighs or the navel. Take one more inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the heels. Gaze comes towards the palms. On the exhale, we're going to bend the knees. Inhale to step towards the top of the mat. Coming back into half lift, bringing the gaze up. Exhale into a forward fold. And inhale as we rise all the way back up. Gaze towards the thumbs, bringing the palms into heart center. So we'll do a few more rounds of those. Moving to sun salutation A. So inhale, arms up, lift to thumbs. Exhaling to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift, gaze comes up. Exhale, stepping ourselves back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. And this time, we're going to still continue to pedal out the legs, but on the next inhale, we're going to lift the right foot and bring it up and over, just getting a nice stretch with the hips here. Again, keeping your shoulders in line with the top edge of the mat. On the exhale, release the foot back down to the mat. And on the inhale, we're going to repeat on the left-hand side, so bringing that left foot up and over. Keeping the shoulders square to the top of the mat, stretching through the hips. And as you exhale, bring the foot back down to the mat. You're going to take an inhale to lift the heels. Exhale, bending the knees, gaze comes forwards. Inhale, stepping to the top of the mat, half lift, gaze comes up. And exhaling, forward fold. The inhale, rising all the way back up to standing, and exhale, hands to parrot, heart center. Again, inhale, arms up, look thumbs. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhale, half lift, gaze comes up. Exhale, step back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. And here, just pedal out the legs. Focus on the breath. Feel the stretch down the hamstrings. through the backs of the legs. As your body starts to warm up for today's practice. On the next inhale, lift the heels. Exhaling, bend the knees. Inhale to jump or step to the top of the mat. Half lift, gaze up. Exhale to forward fold. And inhale, rising all the way back up to standing. Moving on, we're going to inhale through chair pose. Arms come up, look to the thumbs. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhale, half lift, gaze comes up. Exhale, stepping back, gently lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale the right leg up and through, coming into warrior one, arms up, gaze towards the thumbs. Exhale, palms to the mat, stepping back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. We're going to repeat on the left. So inhale the left leg up and through, rising up to warrior one. Exhale, palms to the mat, stepping back, lower down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog and exhaling to downward facing dog. And from here we're going to really soak in those inhales and exhales. Take a nice inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Slowing everything down, letting it all go. Again, pedaling out the legs still, if that feels good today. And then on the next inhale, lifting the heels, gaze comes forwards, bending the knees. Inhale to jump or step to the top of the mat, half lift, gaze comes up. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, bend the knees, rise all the way up through chair position. As we exhale, we're going to fold into the next round. Take an inhale, half lift, gaze comes up. Exhale, stepping back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and through, rising up to warrior one, gaze comes up towards the thumbs. Exhale, palms to the mat, stepping back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. Repeating on the left, so inhale the left leg up and through, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, palms to the mat, stepping down, back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. So your body should start to feel nice and warm now. So really concentrate on those inhales and exhales while you're in downward dog. Slowing everything down. Take one more inhale, one more exhale. On the next inhale, lifting the heels. Exhale to bend the knees. Inhale to jump or step to the top of the mat. Half lift, gaze comes forwards. Exhale into forward fold. And inhale up through chair position. And exhale into the last round. Take an inhale, half lift, gaze comes forwards. Exhale, stepping back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and through, rising up into warrior one. Exhale, palms to the mat, stepping back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling upward facing dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up and through, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, palms to the mat, stepping back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhaling to downward facing dog. So here, again, focusing on your inhales and your exhales. You feel nice and warm now. Concentrating on slowing everything down. Next inhale, lift the heels. Exhale to bend the knees. Inhale to jump or step to the top of the mat, half lift, gaze comes up. Exhale into forward fold. And inhale, rising up through chair position with bent knees. And as we exhale, coming into Tadasana, back to standing. So moving on, inhale up through chair position once again. Arms up, gaze looks towards the thumbs. We're going to kind of have the weight into the heels here. You can lift the toes up and then put them back down onto the mat. Feet hips width distance apart. On the next exhale, bring the palms behind the back, interlace the fingers, and we're going to fold ourselves forward. So our chest is resting on the tops of the thighs. Taking nice few inhales and exhales here. Feeling the stretch across the chest. And as you exhale, bringing the palms to the mat, we're going to come down into Malasana squat. So bring your feet so that your toes are pointed towards the outer edge of the mat. Here you can always grab a block as an option to sit on, or a rolled up blanket or a jumper, whichever you have to hand. So we're just going to pop ourselves down on our block. So you're in a nice squat position. You're going to bring the hands to prayer at heart centre. Use the elbows just to gently press on the inner insides of the thighs. Just to kind of give a bit of a stretch there. And take 3 breaths here. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, I'm going to bring the palms to the mat. Remove the block or the blanket if you've been using one of those. And then we're going to step ourselves back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog and exhaling back into downward facing dog. Take one nice inhale here and exhale through the mouth to let it go. Then on the next inhale, coming up into warrior one. So bringing the right leg forwards, arms come up, gaze towards the thumbs. And have your feet on 2 railroad lines here. Making sure there's no tension through the neck. Keeping both legs nice and strong and active. Couple more breaths. On the next exhale, I'm going to open up into warrior two. So bring the arms to a T. I'm going to just switch myself around here so that I'm not facing, my back's not facing you. So warrior two, arms to a T. You want your hips so that they are square with the long edge of the mat. Gaze comes forward towards the front middle finger. And you want to avoid just having your right knee from falling inwards. So you just need to kind of be aware to kind of keep the knee more in line with the ankle. Again, keep both legs nice and strong here. One more breath. And on the next inhale, just going to reduce your stance slightly. And as we exhale, we're going to move into triangle pose. So windmill the right arm up, left arm down. Right palm resting on the inside of the left leg, right leg, sorry. Gaze comes up towards the left palm. Couple of breaths here. You feel the broadening through the chest. And as you exhale, we're going to bring it into revolved triangle. So bring your left foot slightly out to the side. So again, you've kind of got your feet on 2 railroad lines here. Left palm down on the inside of the right foot. And as you inhale, we're going to bring the right palm up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Take a couple of inhales here. Inhales and exhales. Feeling the stretch through the legs. As you twist through the upper torso. And as you exhale, bringing both palms to the mat, we're going to windmill the arms up and over, coming back into our warrior two. And from here, we're going to come into extended side angle. So as you exhale, bring the right palm down on the inside of the right foot. Left palm comes up towards the sky. Got to bend through the right knee. Keep the gaze wherever feels comfortable, so making sure there's no tension through the neck. Couple more breaths. Again, really feel that broadening through the chest. Option here where you can bring your left arm and hook it on the inside of the right thigh. Or just grab hold of your jumper. Just to kind of give a little bit of extra stretch. On the exhale, bringing both palms to the mat. Rising up into warrior one. You can keep into crescent lunge, sorry. You can bring the left knee down if that feels comfortable. Or you can keep the left knee raised. We're going to take an inhale here, and as we exhale, bring the hands to parent heart center, twisting around to the right hand side, hooking the left elbow over the right knee. Right elbow comes up and gaze comes towards the right elbow. Revolve the side angle. Couple of breaths. And as you exhale, bring both palms to the mat, stepping back, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog and exhaling back to downward facing dog. And here, I'm taking three nice long inhales and exhales. Just to kind of slow everything down again, focus on the breath. Before we repeat on the left hand side. So from here, you're going to want to inhale the left leg up and through. What I'm going to do, again, is switch myself around so that I'm facing you. So inhale the left leg up and through, rising up into warrior one. Palms up, gaze either straight forwards or towards the thumbs, whichever is comfortable. Feet onto railroad lines. Focus on your breath. Keep one more inhale and exhale. And on the next exhale, open up into warrior two. So your arms to a T, your hips towards the outer edge of the mat. Gaze comes towards the front middle finger. And again, remembering to kind of be aware of that left knee so that it's not dropping in, it's staying in line with the ankle. Keeping the legs nice and strong. And then the next exhale, making your stance slightly shorter, we're going to move into triangle pose. So windmill, the left arm palm down, right arm up. Gaze comes towards the right palm. Left palm is just resting on the inside of the left shin. Again, option here to bring the arm round and grab hold of your trousers or your jumper or the top of the thigh, just to kind of really broaden through the chest a bit more, depending on how you're feeling today. Bring the arm back up if you've gone for the extra stretch. As you inhale, bring both arms up. We're going to move into revolve triangle. So bring the stance a little bit so that your feet are onto railroad tracks lines again. Inhale, the right arm up, placing it on the inside of the left foot. You're going to inhale the left arm up. Gaze comes towards the left palm. Option to use a block here underneath your right palm, just to bring the floor a little bit higher. Couple more breaths. As you exhale, bring both palms down, windmill the arms back up, coming into warrior two. And from here, spinning the back heel up. Option to bring the knee down. And we're going to come into crescent lunge. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, hands to prayer at heart center, twisting round to the left hand side. So hooking the right elbow over the left knee. Left elbow comes up. Gaze towards the left elbow. Just staying here for a couple of breaths. Keep the legs nice and strong. As you exhale, bring both palms to the mat, stepping ourselves back, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhaling to downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to move on to laying down on our backs. We're going to do just a couple of folds seated before we move into our shavasana. So to take your next inhale, we're going to walk ourselves through to seated. Shuffle yourself back, depending where you are on your mat at the moment. So shuffle yourself towards the back of the mat, making sure you're kind of equally on both sit bones here. And we're going to take an inhale, lifting the arms up, and exhale just to give ourselves a nice gentle forward fold. Go to wherever feels comfortable here. Feel the stretch through the backs of the legs. So just take it easy. Just stay in a nice, comfortable position so you feel the stretch but not too much. As you inhale, coming back, bringing the palms behind the hips. We're going to come into reverse tabletop position. So just going to shift the bum slightly forwards, feet hips width distance apart. As you take an inhale, we're going to lift the hips and come into reverse tabletop. So really feeling activation through the glutes, backs of the legs, through the calves. Making sure there's no tension in the neck or the shoulders. And on the exhale, lowering back down to the mat. We're going to rise up into Navasana, our boat pose here. Take a couple of inhales and exhales. Find a point to focus on. You can stay here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Rolling over the feet, we'll do one last vinyasa. So step back, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog for a couple of breaths here. And then as you exhale, stepping through, and we're going to come down on our backs into shavasana. So if you want to grab a blanket or a jumper, feel free to pop that on here. I'm going to come down onto our backs on the mat. Let the feet fall out to the sides, palms facing up. Again, bringing our attention back to our breath, to our inhales for 4, and our exhales for 4. Slowing everything down again after today's practice. Letting all the energy flow through the body. All the heat. Feeling the feet relax, the ankles, the knees, the thighs. Relaxing the hips. The stomach. Shoulders, backs of the neck. Relaxing the jaw. Crown of the head. I'm just going to stay here for a few minutes. Just to really relish in our shavasana today. You can obviously feel free to stay here as long as you wish. Just always try and take the time to indulge in this last bit of your practice. And when you're ready, some movement into the toes, into the fingertips. And the next inhale, bring the arms up above the head, really feel the stretch through the legs, through the torso. As you exhale to release. yourself over onto one side. So gently come up into a seated position. Just going to cross the legs, and a nice comfortable seat. Your hands to prayer at heart centre. Bow our heads. Thank you for today's practice. Namaste. Thanks folks, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's practice, our power yoga flow. There will be more videos coming next week, so make sure to stay tuned, and I will see you soon. Namaste.